the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Lindstrom Air are the AC pros, keeping you cool when it matters most. Quality service on your plumbing too. Let Lindstrom take great care of you. Yeah, I love those guys.
Did you know that over 85% of grass-fed beef sold in America is actually imported? Even when it's labeled product of USA, it often comes from overseas. That means fewer opportunities for our American farmers and more families disconnected from the source of their food. We started Good Ranchers because we wanted to change that. Every cut of beef, chicken, pork, and wild-caught seafood we offer is 100% American, sourced directly from local farms and ranches. When you choose Good Ranchers, you're helping preserve the legacy of American agriculture and keeping honest, hardworking families in business. And with every purchase, Good Ranchers donates a portion of the proceeds to Paralyzed Veterans of America, giving back to our nation's heroes. This is more than meat, it's a mission. Visit GoodRanchers.com and use code RANCH40 to get $40 off your first order, plus free meat for an entire year. That's GoodRanchers.com, code RANCH40 to get $40 off your first order. GoodRanchers.com. American meat delivered.
Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA Miami, WMIB-FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good. Here's what you need to know on Fox Sports 940 Miami.
For the first time this summer, Dolphins players putting on the pads at training camp. The injury bug also hitting once again, with safety Ashlyn Davis suffering a non-contact setback to his left leg that has him in a walking boot after taking yesterday off. Corner Storm Duck participated in drills while offensive linemen Aaron Brewer and Liam Eichenberg were working lightly on the side. The Gators held media day today in Gainesville before fall camp begins tomorrow without quarterback DJ Lagway, who suffered a calf injury while jogging over the weekend. Coach Billy Napier said the injury is a tough hit, but they need to develop depth, so they have to get young players ready immediately. The Marlins, losers in 2 straight on the road, hope to shuffle the cards tonight in the second of the 3-game series in St. Louis. Sandy Alcantara is a scheduled starter on the mound for Miami. Coverage here on Fox Sports 940 Miami begins at 7. This morning, the Fish filled the roster spot of Nick Fortes, who was traded to Tampa Bay last night, bringing up outfielder first baseman Troy Johnston from Jacksonville. And Inter Miami CF held a training session in Fort Lauderdale this morning on the eve of their first Leagues Cup match tomorrow against Atlas at Chase Field. I'm Erica Rodriguez, Fox Sports 940 Miami.
From Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
1-1. He might have hit one out of the ballpark there. Out to right and deep. Second deck. He squared the bunt 2 pitches ago. And Kyle Stowers rips number 16 into the seats. Tied at 1, bottom 2.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
Pitch to Connor Norby. He drills out to right center and deep. Frelick back. Track wall. It is gone. Connor Norby. He's getting right. 1-1 pitch. That one hammered out to left center field and deep. Marcian Rojas back. They're looking up, and it's gone. Wag attack. A 2-run homer.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
Excellent job, Ahmed. It's great to have you with us as we welcome you here from Busch Stadium in St. Louis on a 92-degree Tuesday night. You're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio, Fox Sports 940 Miami. We're in game 106 of 162. And last night marked the first time since July 10th the Marlins had lost a game by more than 3 runs. It's the law of averages. We talked about it last night in the post-game show with Jack McMullen. Everyone is due for a clunker. But I'll tell you this, the good teams respond the following night. And what better guy to have on the hill than Sandy Alcantara, fresh off his best start of the season. But tonight, Sandy isn't the main story. Troy Johnston, Marlins 28-year-old first baseman who's played over 600 games in the minors, will make his major league debut tonight after getting the call last night, and we've got you covered. We are pumped to bring you game 2, the middle game of this 3-game set between the 55 and 53 St. Louis Cardinals and your 50 and 55 Miami Marlins. We mentioned him, Sandy Alcantara. He'll make his 21st start of the season against a team that signed him in 2013. As a 17-year-old, Sandy will go opposite Sonny Gray, 35-year-old, 3-time right-handed All-Star. He will take the ball for the 22nd time for the St. Louis Cardinals. We will get going at 7:45 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Tuesday night with Jack McMullen and Marlins 2011 All-Star Gabby Sanchez. I'm Steven Strom. Let's get you the lineup for the show tonight. We got a deep and distinguished guest list. We're going the distance, and it is yet again a Power Pack broadcast, and we always thank you for your participation. I'm going to call segment 1 housekeeping in a way because we have a ton of sound. Troy Johnston. We have Clayton McCullough on Nick Fortes, who we can officially say has been sent to Tampa Bay. Kyle Stowers back in the lineup as well. We'll get why he was out from Clayton McCullough. Sandy and Jack will sit down in segment 2 ahead of his start. We'll get you out of the count with Alcantara and Sonny Gray. Jack will join the program in segment 4 for some headlines, X-Poll question of today at Marlins Radio, and Steve's guarantee to victory. So I guess we have to start with the guy that's going to make his debut tonight. And look, this is a big start for Sandy. We'll see if it's the last one for Sandy with the trade deadline coming up. But the big story is Troy Johnston. We'll lead with that. I got a chance to catch up with him. We posted onto X, formerly known as Twitter, earlier today. But let's get to my conversation with Troy Johnston, getting all the emotions and the feelings as he will make his major league debut here tonight.
All right, man of the hour, Troy Johnston. Congratulations, man. What took you so long, dude? We've been waiting for you.
You know, honestly, I'm just so thankful for the opportunity that the Miami Marlins are giving me, and hopefully I can make the most of it.
What was the call like? Give us the entire story.
Entire story was I drove back from Durham, little sleep, just thought I was relaxing the whole day. I got a call at about 9 p.m. last night from my hitting coach, who, if anybody knows, if you get a call at 9 p.m. on your off day, it's probably something's up. So I kind of knew that a little bit. He said, hey, what are you doing? How's the family? I'm like, we're all good. Our manager, Carp, came on the video and was just looking at me saying, hey, how's the dog? How's the family? I said, hey, if you're going to call me at 9:30, 9 o'clock at night, and if this call is what I think it is, you need to tell me. And he just smiled and said, you're a big leaguer, kid.
Some of these guys come up here with the idea that they want to prove something. Some guys are just really excited to fulfill their dream. Where do you fall between those two things?
Honestly, I'd say I'm right in the middle. I'm just very thankful to finally be here. It's been such a long road for me, and there's been some ups, there's been some downs, but I'm just thankful to be here and try to help the Miami Marlins win in whatever way I can.
What's the most emotional thing about this whole process for you?
Probably seeing my wife and how much we've struggled over the last couple of years, and seeing the relief and the emotional, I'm going to call it distress, on her face, saying, okay, we're finally doing this, the thing that we've been dreaming of for 3 years when we thought this was a reality. That finally seeing the relief in her face and the tears streaming down her face.
Troy Johnston with us now. Last one for you. What has the day been like before the game here with the conversations with the coaches and interactions with your players and your roommate Dane Myers, former?
Honestly, it's like I never left spring training. The guys are so friendly, and we're just getting things ready and trying to figure out how to win a baseball game tonight.
Thanks, Troy.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, that was Troy Johnston. Again, congratulations for him. And I want to give you a little bit of background on the story of Troy Johnston because he's kind of become this mythical creature on Marlins Twitter specifically. I mean, let's be honest here. 28-year-old, played 636 minor league games. He was the 2023 Organizational Minor League Player of the Year. He is, I always use this, I've been using this the last couple of days, the smiley face on the cereal box of patience is a virtue. He will bat seventh and play first tonight, but I want to continue to give some tidbits on Troy Johnston if you aren't aware. He was the Marlins' 17th round pick in the 2019 draft. He didn't go to a big-time school. Heck, Gonzaga? I mean, you think Gonzaga for basketball, not for baseball. That's where Troy Johnston ended up playing his college ball. 4 seasons with AAA Jacksonville, 289 games. Again, this is across 4 seasons. hit a combined 267, a 782 OPS. This guy, it seems like every single year since I've been here, this is season 3 for me, he's been a topic of conversation. Where's Troy Johnson? He's hitting 300. He hit another home run tonight. He's on a 15-game hit streak. He's finally getting his chance today. He will wear number 75. And we did see Troy Johnson in 9 games with the Miami Marlins during spring training this year. Went 3 for 12. And what is, I think, the most ironic part about this, when you talk about call-ups, when you talk about guys that are going to fulfill their dream, usually they're 23, 24, 20. We don't discriminate on age here. Troy Johnston is now the second oldest position player behind Dane Myers at 28 years old. He will make his debut here tonight. Again, batting 7th and playing first. Congratulations to Troy Johnson. We got a ton ahead, and I'm going to keep it here because I want to get the next big story, which was last night there was a report Nick Fortes was traded to Tampa Bay. Reported. This morning it became official. Nick Fortes is off to Tampa Bay in exchange for Matthew Etzel, 23-year-old outfielder. Let's hear Clayton McCullough today on his reaction to 40 headed to Tampa Bay.
Opportunity for us to add quality, talented outfield, prospect to the upper levels. It has some speed, stolen some bases in the minor leagues, good zone discipline, bat-to-ball skills, and we feel like it also as well, and an opportunity for Nick to go to Tampa and be provided a slightly different opportunity than he had here. So some of these trades you look at, it's hopefully a win for both sides. We get infused with some athleticism, some talent at our upper levels of the minor leagues, and Nick gets a shot in Tampa.
363 games career-wise with Miami for Nick Fortes. And it was funny this morning, I was going through some old papers, and during the winter we have Fan Fest. Nick Fortes was one of my interviews, and one of the tidbits I had on him is he caught 3 consecutive shutouts, which was a franchise record. He did it in 2024. So, look, nothing flashy, nothing sexy about some of Nick Fortes' numbers from an offensive standpoint, but he did serve his purpose here, particularly defensively late in games. We will see how the Marlins are able to adapt without Nick Fortes, specifically with Liam Hicks and Augustin Ramirez behind the dish. Another man that's going to be in the lineup that wasn't yesterday, Kyle Stowers. Clayton McCullough, how's he doing after yesterday's quote-unquote illness?
Stowers is feeling better today. I feel like he'll be okay. Just a combination of what he ate and trying to hydrate himself. Just timing of it wasn't great. Didn't sit well with him, yesterday prior, to the game. But he got a good night's sleep. Maybe get some food down and feels much better today.
Well, Kyle Stowers is back in the lineup. He will bat 4th and play left field. Yesterday, look, when your best player is out, typically you feel it. You felt it yesterday with no Kyle Stowers out. Marlins fallen in game 1, 7-1. So good housekeeping there. Congratulations, Troy Johnson. That interview is also on our Twitter at Marlins Radio, or X, as you probably know it now. Nick Fortes to Tampa Bay. We will talk about that in segment 4. Plus, we got some good sound in-game with Jack McMullen and Gabby Sanchez, and Kyle Stowers back in the lineup. I know yesterday when he was scratched from the lineup, people's hearts dropped, but everything is okay. He is back and ready to go here tonight. We'll break. We will get Sandy Alcantara's thoughts ahead of his start tonight. He sits down with our very own Jack McMullen. Stick with us. 7:45 first pitch as Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
1-2. Durbin goes again, but that one is a called third strike. 96 painted on the inside corner. And the Miami Marlins come to Milwaukee and take a series from the best team in the National League. It's the first time the Brewers have lost back-to-back games since July 2nd and 3rd. And these fish ride the long ball, and a sterling relief appearance from Tyler Phillips to another victory. Your Miami Marlins get the win over the Brewers at American Family Field in Milwaukee, 7-4 on Saturday night.
Right now in Kyle Stowers.
Woodruff seeing Kyle, first pitch. He's swinging away. He loops one beyond the outstretched glove of the shortstop Ortiz. It's dribbling into left for a base hit, and that is an RBI knock. X comes in to score from third. You don't have to hit it hard. It feels like he always does, but that's 73 miles an hour off the end of the bat. A little looper evaded the shortstop Ortiz, and it's 1-0 Fish in the top of the first.
Will start, but that is what Brandon Woodruff has done through his first 4 turns as a Brewer this year. And Hernandez rips one high in the air out to right. That's carrying pretty well.
Collins is back at the track. It kept on going, and it's gone. Big Bird come again. Second homer of the weekend. And Heriberto Hernandez drills his 5th on the year. 2-1 Fish in the top of the 4th.
For Ronnie. Runner at second, nobody out. And the 0-2 to Contreras. Here's a hard roller over to the shortstop. Lopez, he'll go to third.
Torrio tried it. Winkler got the tag down, and they cut down Jackson Torrio.
Good Greek.
Good Greek, moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Game 106 here for the Miami Marlins. Game 2, the middle game here in St. Louis. Game 5 of this road trip. Marlins took 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee, dropped game 1 yesterday. That sits Miami with a 2-2 record so far during this road trip. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and Gabby Sanchez. Sandy Alcantara coming off his best start of the season. 7 innings against the San Diego Padres. He earned the win. 67 of 98 pitches for strikes with 11 whiffs. Again, longest outing of the season. Jack McMullen was with Sandy yesterday ahead of his start here tonight at 7:45.
Thank you, Steven. Sandy Alcantara. Well, we're talking to you right after you did some light running on the warning track. Did it feel like light running today, or is it hotter than the surface of the sun out there?
I feel like we're going to play in Arizona right now, so it's very hot today, so hopefully it's get more cooler tonight during the game.
How do you prep for a start like this? Is it just emphasis on hydration, and how early do you have to do that? Is it a day or two before?
A lot of water today, a lot of water, get some sleep, so get ready for my start tomorrow and just be out there and do the same that I know to do, just compete out there every pitch since the first inning.
Sandy, you're coming off your best start of the season. It was 7 innings, no earned runs against San Diego and a good San Diego lineup. What did you feel like was particularly clicking for you?
Everything was working. So slider was good. Throw a lot of curve was tremendous. Two-seam was best two-seam that I ever have. Changeup was good. So I think I just got to do the same out there tomorrow. Try to be consistent and start right and just trying to find a way how to strike him out more people.
What makes the two-seam the best you've had?
Because I'm working it. I'm working on it, so every day when my throwing program on my bullpen, working on just those 2 pitches, two-seam and changeup, and just been a long way, because I've been working since we started the season, so I know I've been had a lot of bad start, but it doesn't matter to me because we got time to improve, so thanks God for giving me the opportunity to throw 7 innings last outing, so hopefully tomorrow I got to do the same thing.
We were talking to you a couple weeks ago, and you said you felt really good about your two-seam and the movement and the velocity, so I assume it was the execution you're talking about, right? How do you train something like execution in a bullpen?
So everything starts since you get to the field. You got to have something on your mind, something that you need to work, so I think just got to work on my two-seam. So after my 7-inning last outing, I sit with my pitching coach. We have a great conversation about use more my two-seam, and I think that was the success that I had throw 7 innings last outing, and hopefully tomorrow God give me an opportunity to throw 7 or plus innings.
Sandy, this was the team that you debuted with, but you've had plenty of memorable moments against them too as an opponent. I was just watching that double play you rolled in 2022 to finish that complete game on pitch number 117. When you think about this ballpark and this team, what comes to mind?
Yeah, you said it. Last pitch that I throw in here, so something happened out there. I saw Danny came to the mound. We have a great conversation. Everybody know. And after he gave me the opportunity to face the last batter, I just need to execute my best two-seam out there, and hopefully I throw the best one, and I got a double play, and I still remember those days. Yeah.
What jumps out about this current Cardinal lineup to you?
Just be consistent tomorrow, throw and strike. Try to not give too much chance then to get on me. So hopefully everything that I do today out there, especially it's hot today, so it's working tomorrow out there. So, and yeah, just got to go back to the hotel, get some rest, and be ready for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Sandy Alcantara and Jack McMullen. It's a little bit cooler here tonight. Career-wise against St. Louis for Sandy Alcantara, 6 starts with a 1.91 ERA across 42 and a third innings pitched. Jack McMullen referenced that time where Sandy went a complete game. And Don Mattingly at the time, Marlins' former manager, kept him in the game. It's that infamous, I think it was a double play if I'm not mistaken, looked over to Don Mattingly, gave him a little point. So that was the conversation that they both were talking about. And this is a unique situation for Sandy with the trade deadline and also being, facing your former team. This is a Cardinals organization that signed Sandy back in July of 2013 at 17 years old. He was signed as an international free agent. So we'll see Sandy Alcantara make his 7th career start against St. Louis and hoping that the Marlins can punch back in Game 2 of this series. We'll break. We'll get you ahead of the count. Sonny Gray and Sandy Alcantara. Plus, we'll hear from Clayton McCullough on Sandy's last start against San Diego that we referenced. 7 innings. It was the longest of his season. We'll find out why next on the Marlins Radio Network.
For the last 3-4 months, it's Stowers is in scoring position right now. 2-2. That one cracked out to left center field. Collins on the move. Back to the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. Scoring position right now. Kyle Stowers, homer number 23. And he silences this capacity crowd in Milwaukee. 1-0 Fish in the top of the 3rd. Bases loaded, 1 away, 3-1. Otto lines one into right center field. That is in for a base hit. It's going to plate at least 2. Stowers pulling into 3rd. Blake Lally holds him up. Now he sends him. Stowers getting the run around. That ball was bobbled in right center field. Otto pushes to 3rd, and Stowers comes in to score from first base. A defensive miscue by a sure-handed Brewer team, and it's a 3-run double or triple from Otto Lopez to open this game up. Misfires galore from Nick Mears, and now it's 4-1 Fish in the top of the 7th.
Kind of more validation of the way we've been playing, I think. Crazy atmosphere here. Kind of felt like a playoff game. I think we were able to, have some really good at-bats. I think it was in that 6th inning, 6th or 7th inning. That really was the difference in the game, and kind of took the crowd out of it late. They're a really good team. Expect them to come back, ready to go tomorrow. So we got to, enjoy this one for a little bit and then flush it and get on to the next one.
Home run number 23 for you. I asked Clayton McCullough earlier today, teams are starting to pitch you more cautiously. You're going to have to take your walks. How do you find that balance of not trying to press but also still trying to be effective?
Yeah, learning how to do it, trying to just be stubborn to my approach, take good at-bats, try to see the ball well and, kind of just.
Mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
This is Clayton McCullough here, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
How about Clayton bringing the juice? Thanks for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night here in St. Louis. Marlins Radio live from Busch Stadium. Steven Strom, host of the program, Jack McMullen, Gabby Sanchez. Those two have your call at 7:45. Jack McMullen will join me in the next segment. Troy Johnson will make his Major League debut here tonight after playing over 600 minor league games. Marlins' former 17th round pick in 2019 out of Gonzaga will bat 7th and play first base here tonight. Let's get you ahead of the count. We'll start here with Sandy Alcantara, 29-year-old right-hander who will face the team again, who he signed with back in July of 2013. At 17 years old as an IFA, that's an international free agent. 2022 Cy Young Award winner this year is 5-9 with a 6.66 ERA, 104 innings pitched, 20 starts. He earned the win against the Padres on Wednesday, allowed 1 unearned run on 4 hits, 7 innings, 67 of 98 pitches for strikes. He generated 11 swings and misses. It was the longest and the best outing of his season. And here was Clayton McCullough reacting to Sandy's breakout.
We all know, and it's been talked about a lot with, the struggles this year. But I think, Sandy, what he's continued to do is the resiliency is shown through his competitiveness, and enjoy and celebrate today, because that was a terrific outing. How he worked through that lineup and used both sides of the plate. Thought he had a really good changeup today. He was able to get down below on some right-handed hitters. Very happy for Sandy.
Clayton, did anything change during Sandy's struggles?
Athlete at this level that goes through a tough period of time, continue to watch how they go about things day to day. You continue to watch how he approached every session in between starts, and there was never going to be any quit. It was just, so let's go figure out how to try to turn the page and get this thing moving in a different direction. And I know guys respect that. They appreciate that. This guy doesn't make excuses. So, and we still, the entire season, every time he takes the ball, we believe that we're going to go win that game. And I know staff and teammates and everybody's just very happy for Sandy that, things came together today the way they did.
And, man, he just has a relentless work ethic. It has not stopped, at least since I was here in 2023 and years prior to that, people that have been here. Nothing has changed with Sandy Alcantara as far as the work is concerned. Career-wise against St. Louis, 6 starts, a 1.91 ERA, over 42 and a third innings pitched. Sandy Alcantara will go opposite Sonny Gray, 35-year-old right-hander in season 13 in the show, second with St. Louis. He'll make his 22nd start of the season. He's 10-4, a 4.33 ERA, 116 and a third innings pitch. How about this? 128 punch-outs to 19 walks. He got a lot of help from his offense on Thursday. The Cards scored 9 runs for him against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He gave up 7 runs, 6 earned, and he got the win on 11 hits over 5 frames. This was his second start, though, for Sonny Gray, where he gave up 6 runs or more, 14 combined over his last 2 starts. The good news for Sonny, he's got great career numbers against the Fish. 6 starts, 3-0, a 2.45 ERA, 36 2/3. He has started against the Marlins in 2014, 2017, 2019, 2021, and 2024. That just shows how long this guy has been in the league. Again, season 13 for Sonny Gray. He features a 4-seamer, a sweeper, a sinker, a curveball, a cutter, a changeup, and a slider. Opponents hitting .349 against that 4-seamer. We will break. Jack McMullen will join me next. We got some great storylines. Kyle Stowers back in the lineup. Nick Fortes off to Tampa Bay. And Troy Johnson will make his major league debut here tonight. 7:45 first pitch. We'll be back in 2 on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hard for a hitter to pick up. 2-1 from Cease. That one ripped up the middle, and that's down for a base hit. 1 run surely going to score. Sanchez is being held at third, but X comes in from second base, and the Gus Bus drives in another. That's an RBI single. Fish on the board first. 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. 3-2. Sanoja going again, and Sanchez rips one out to right and deep. Tatis looking up. That is gone. Jesus Sanchez sends a screamer out in a blink. And there's some breathing room for the Fish. 2-run shot. Number 9 on the year. 3-1 Marlins, bottom 5.
Back here with Calvin Fauché. First time going more than an inning here today. When did you get that call that you were going to go multiple here tonight?
Clayton came up to me before the game and asked if I'm good to do that. And I said yes. If my name's called, I'll be ready to go.
You grew up a Padres fan. I know you've been up here for a little bit, but is it still sometimes give you goosebumps thinking about closing the game out against a team one?
Yeah, maybe more so though, like adrenaline, a little more adrenaline for sure. Because growing up watching them and now playing against them, it's pretty cool.
What did Sandy remind people of today?
He reminded him of himself. That's who he is. He threw the ball great for us today, pounded the zone. I'm excited for him.
How validating has this homestand been, beating both teams, in a series?
Yeah, coming back from a break, I mean, you never know. Teams come in, they try to play their best ball, and we've stayed hot. We were hot before the break, and we kept it going.
Thanks for the time, Calvin.
Thank you.
Después de la promo aplican tarifas regulares. Ahorros comparados a Verizon 5G Internet más una línea Unlimited Welcome y AT&T Internet 300 más una línea Unlimited Started SL. Requiere Xfinity Internet. Velocidades reales varían. Velocidades se reducen después del uso de 30 GB por línea. Los límites de datos y los ahorros reales varían.
Probably seeing my wife and how much we've struggled over the last couple of years, and seeing the relief and the emotional, I'm going to call it distress, on her face, saying, okay, we're finally doing this, the thing that we've been dreaming of for 3 years when we thought this was a reality. that finally seeing the relief in her face and the tears streaming down her face.
How about that? That was Troy Johnson earlier this afternoon on some of the emotion of getting called up. Again, 28-year-old who is now going to be the second oldest position player behind Dane Myers. He will bat seventh and play first base here tonight. Over 600 games in the minor leagues. Troy Johnson ready to go here for the Miami Marlins. Steven Strom, Jack McMullen, and Gabby Sanchez. I guess I'll throw it to you, Gab. Just the emotion that he's feeling right now. Take me back to your debut and I guess speak to what he's basically trying to convey to the audience through that quote.
Well, the thing is he's been there for so long in the minor leagues. You go back to 2023, it was a minor league player of the year. He led all of minor leagues with 116 RBI. So it's like the numbers are there, putting up numbers, but then never really getting the opportunity until now to go out there and play at the big league level. The emotions are we finally did it, right? It's basically everybody's emotion when they get called up. Doesn't matter how long it takes. It's always the same of we finally are able to accomplish that dream, but now we got to keep going, right? Now we have to get that dream, put it aside and say, now we got to play baseball and show why I should have been up here earlier or show why I should be here right now. For him, there's going to be nerves. You're going to have that heartbeat. It's going to be fluttering.
Yeah.
You're going to have the butterflies in the stomach. The knees are going to be buckling. But after he gets that first swing and that swing gets off, all that emotion kind of goes off, and now you're back to playing baseball. You're 1v1 versus that pitcher.
Yeah, it is emotional, and it's an awesome story, but this guy can really play, Jack.
Yeah.
What gets you going? What gets the engine going about looking at what this guy can provide for the Marlins?
So do you remember, I'm sure you do because you're a hoop head, do you remember Andre Ingram with the LA Lakers?
I do.
The math,
yes.
the substitute math teacher.
Yes, that was a little bit older.
Ended up playing he was 33 years old, I want to say, when he made his NBA debut. And, it was like 5 minutes off the bench and people were fired up when he scored 8 points in an NBA basketball game. I just want to make it clear this is not that. The reason he's the second oldest hitter on this team is because this is the youngest roster in Major League Baseball. So 28 years old, it's okay. It's not this, Drew Maggi story. Sorry, Drew Maggi, but it's not this story of lifetime achievement award in the minor leagues. What this guy has done is put together a 910 OPS season with 26 homers and 116 driven in. Oh, by the way, he hit 310 and he walked in 2023. He comes back. And I know that people say, oh, is it disappointing 24? 770 OPS.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It's solid. And then he comes back this year, 780 OPS. And this is a first base corner outfield guy that is 31 for 36 in the stolen base department. This guy is a good offensive profile. The Marlins, I think, are getting better offensively.
Yeah, and he said he's not a burner, but I'm excited to see him on the bases. Hopefully we get to see him at first base here tonight. Maybe second, maybe third. Who knows? Maybe he hits a home run. The other news today, guys, was officially Nick Fortes was traded to Tampa Bay in exchange for Matthew Etzel. But curious, Jack, what does the domino effect look like with Fortes going to Tampa?
Yeah, so, obviously it impacts the catcher situation. And you've got two guys that are behind Nick Fortes from a development perspective. Gabby's stepping on the cord right now, and I can hear it.
I can hear it, too.
It's not my fault. You put – well, look, I'm not 7
It's right here.
Okay. But did you put it right in front of my feet?
You know what? Crackling's gone, so we're fine. But
behave, boys.
Yeah. Listen, the easiest way to see it is the catcher domino effect, right? It's okay, you've got probably the best defensive catcher on the roster coming off the roster now and going to Tampa, wishing Nick Fortes all the best. But we saw the defensive struggles at points last night from Agustin Ramirez. Liam Hicks, he's gotten a lot better defensively behind the dish, but there's still work to do. Joe Singley, the Marlins catching coach, he used the term meat on the bone for both these guys early in the year. So that's really what I see. On an everyday basis, we're going to see guys that are getting into their catching maturation in Agustin Ramirez and Liam Hicks. In terms of ABs, it really doesn't change much. I think what you will probably see is less first base time for Liam Hicks.
Sure.
But those first base reps against right-handed pitching are probably going to go to Troy Johnston. So you've got Wagaman and Troy. They're kind of combining for all the first base reps, and you'll see Hicks catch a lot more. And then Hicks and Agustin Ramirez will probably cycle through the DH spot.
Gabby, and when Clayton McCullough was asked about this afternoon, what does the catching situation look like? They're not pulling the plug on Agustin Ramirez behind the dish. So I'll ask you this. You played the position. We joked about it. for a little bit in the minor leagues. But what do you need to see over the next 2 months to be convinced that Agustin Ramirez is a catcher in this league?
Well, one of the things that we know is that he's going to put the work in, right? And he just has to continue just to get better and learn from mistakes that are made after every single game. You don't want to see him make the same mistake twice, right? So, okay, you made a mistake, learn from it. Let's build off of it.
Like yesterday, throwing to third base. Had no business doing that?
No business throwing to third base on that one. You like the aggressiveness, right? But at some point, you're going to be like, I have no chance at getting him. I'm going to put this one in my back pocket. Even if you make a good throw over there, fine. It's still an unnecessary throw because you weren't going to be able to get anything out of it. So those are learning kind of experiences. Of course, I'm going to only throw when I know that I can get somebody out, right? Perfect. You're going to learn from that. From the catching side of it, right? Learning the pitcher on the mound,
sure,
what pitches to throw, when to throw those pitches, seeing the hitters. You're going to have to learn from that. You're going to have to study the game. And I feel like with him, he's going to do that. I want to see him just grow every single game a little bit. It's not this big growth, right? You're not going to go from all of a sudden Agustin Ramirez to Pudge Rodriguez. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to make that big step. But you can grow little bit by little bit by little bit. And at the end of the season, you can look back and go, wow, he made a huge stride.
Well, for Agustin Ramirez, he will not catch tonight. Liam Hicks will be behind the dish for Sandy Alcantara tonight. Another thing to look out for, Nick Fortes was the main battery mate with Sandy Alcantara. We will see who takes over for that. I know Clayton McCullough preaches to optionality. And let's actually hear from Clayton, because there is an individual who wasn't in the lineup yesterday that is back in, Kyle Stowers.
Stowers is feeling better today. Feel like he'll be okay. Just a combination of what he ate and trying to hydrate himself. Just timing of it wasn't great. Didn't sit well with him, yesterday prior.
All right, we got no sound there. That's okay. But we wanted to get an update on Kyle Stowers, who was out yesterday with an illness. But, man, Jack, it felt like there was no Kyle Stowers, and last night it looked like there was no Kyle Stowers.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably offensive identity, right? You could have a good tasting drink, but if you've got no straw to stir that drink, like, you're not going to drink that drink, right? So I feel like Stowers here, he can deliver the big knock, and I'm not saying that you got to get that 162 games a year. It's just another presence that you really got to hone in on as an opposing starting pitcher. But it sounds like Kyle feels really good today. It's a matter of timing up the hydration with food intake. I haven't felt right in St. Louis. This is a very hard place to exist in late July. I can't imagine getting ready to play a Major League Baseball game. And if you mishydrate or you eat and time your almost overcompensation hydration wise, it can really mess with you.
And it definitely messed with him because he didn't know really what to do, because nobody really knows what to do when it gets to this hot. We talk about Miami Heat, but now all of a sudden you're in Lone Depot. You're inside the air conditioning.
Roof. Yeah.
There's a roof. You're not having to worry about that 95, 96 degree heat.
Also,
and really, there's that breeze that's coming off the water that helps you out.
I'm going to say this feels a lot worse than Miami.
This is way worse. I mean, there is no breeze coming off of water. It's just stagnant heat that's hitting you consistently. We have fans here. It's just hot air that's blowing at us. That's really what it is. But when you look at Stowers, what does he do? He lengthens the lineup.
Yep.
And that's one of the biggest things, right? It's another guy that you're going to have to worry about. And for a pitcher, it's another guy who can hit you out of the ballpark. And all of a sudden, a walk turns into a 2-run homer, and it changes the way that the game is being played.
That's Gabby Sanchez. That's also Jack McMullen. I'm Steven Strom. We will stay hydrated. Thank goodness for Gabby coming in the clutch here with some drip drop. We usually have it on the plane, but Gabby, he's got a stash, and he hooked us up. So we'll be ready to go. We'll break here. We are playing baseball in 10 minutes. Sandy Alcantara, Sonny Gray. We'll break Expo questions, Steve's guarantee. Then we'll play some baseball. Game 2, Marlins, Cardinals on the Marlins Radio Network.
For the last 3-4 months, Stowers is in scoring position right now. 2-2. That one cracked out to left center field. Collins on the move. Back to the track. He's looking up, and it's gone. Scoring position right now. Kyle Stowers, homer number 23. And he silences this capacity crowd in Milwaukee. 1-0 Fish in the top of the third. Bases loaded, one away, 3-1. Otto lines one into right center field. That is in for a base hit. It's going to plate at least 2. Stowers pulling into third. Blake Lally holds him up. Now he sends him. Stowers getting the run around. That ball was bobbled in right center field. Otto pushes to third, and Stowers comes in to score from first base. A defensive miscue by a sure-handed Brewer team, and it's a 3-run double or triple from Otto Lopez to open this game up. misfires galore from Nick Mears, and now it's 4-1 Fish in the top of the 7th.
Kind of more validation of the way we've been playing, I think. Crazy atmosphere here. Kind of felt like a playoff game. I think we were able to, have some really good at-bats. I think it was in that 6th or 7th inning. That really was the difference in the game, and kind of took the crowd out of it late. They're a really good team. Expect them to come back, ready to go tomorrow. So we got to, enjoy this one for a little bit, and then flush it and get on to the next one.
Home run number 23 for you. I asked Clayton McCullough earlier today. Teams are starting to pitch you more cautiously. You're going to have to take your walks. How do you find that balance of not trying to press, but also still trying to be effective?
Yeah, learning how to do it. Trying to just be stubborn to my approach. Take good at-bats, try to see the ball well, and, kind of just let whatever happens go from there.
What do you think of the at-bat quality, especially wearing out Freddie Peralta today?
Oh, I thought as a team it was really, really good. I think even, in that first inning, he got 2 outs, 9 pitches and 2 outs, and then we were able to get him to 23. I felt like every inning, even though we only scored one run off of him, we were, able to put together good at-bats, make him work.
We're looking to punch back here on this steamy and hot St. Louis summer night. Stephen Strom, Jack McMullen, and Gabby Sanchez, great to have you aboard. Thank you very much for joining us. We had an awesome show. Troy Johnston, some sound on Clayton McCullough on reacting to the Nick Fortes trade. Plus, we got Kyle Stowers back in the lineup, which is always a good thing. Fortes to Tampa, Matthew Etzel, 23-year-old outfielder from Tampa Bay, 28th ranked prospect in the Rays system, will join the Marlins organization. And again, we thank Nick Fortes for what he did across 300-plus games with the Miami Marlins. Let's get to our Expo question today. It is about Troy Johnson, the 28-year-old will make his debut tonight, batting 7th and playing first. But the ironic thing about Troy Johnson, well, there's a couple of things. First of all, he is the second oldest position player. And second of all, he came from Gonzaga, a basketball school. So I looked this up today. Who is Gonzaga's all-time hit leader in their program? Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. It is time for Steve's Guarantee.
Batter up. Batter up. Let's play some ball. First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's Guarantees.
How can I not just say that Troy Johnson's going to collect his first MLB hit? I mean, that's the guarantee tonight. He has to pick up his first hit. What's your thought, Gab?
Well, did you hear what Clayton McCullough said?
What did he say?
Clayton McCullough said he is going to get his first hit.
There you go.
And he said it's going to be on a cutter, and he's going to hit in the 4-hole. He predicted all of that today in the dugout. No, it was after. I still talk with coaches after and managers after.
Okay, all right.
That's what he said. He said cutter in. He's going to pull it in the 4-hole, going to collect his first hit. He didn't say what at bat it was going to be, but he did say it was going to be off Sonny Gray.
Folks, I hope we got the hits for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen paints a picture. Now, Gabby, are you ready to rock? Do I have to ask you, because you're like, what if I'm not ready to rock? Are you ready to rock?
My shirt's a little wet.
Okay, his shirt's a little wet because it's very hot outside, but I still will stand by Gabby Sanchez being ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins On Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami Marlins baseball. It's next on the Marlins Radio Network.
With Robinhood, not only